Warning, the following video may contain spoilers for Smackdown Live. If you have not seen Smackdown Live, please turn away now. This is your final warning. I'm not kidding, guys. Turn back now and come back later. Enjoy the video. The return of an Attitude Era tag team, a good main event match, and the fallout from the Miz's interview on Talking Smack last week. These are my top 5 favorite moments from Smackdown Live. How you doing, everybody? My name is Brandon Duchair Craven, and welcome to another edition of my top 5 favorite moments from Smackdown Live. Hope you're doing well. Without further ado, let's get to this week's top 5 moments. Number 5 this week, Heath Slater's home interview. It's funny, at least. Number 4 this week, the Headbangers are back in the WWE. They were a great mid-card tag team in the Attitude Era of WWE. Go watch their stuff on the network. I mean, they were a fun tag team. They were that punk rock, grunge, mosh pitting tag team that just loved to have fun. And it was great to see them back, even though they lost. I hope this isn't a one-off, and I hope they come back on a more permanent basis to the WWE, because they could really add something to the new tag team division on SmackDown. Number 3 this week, AJ Styles versus Apollo Crews. Good matchup, not enough to get above number 3, but it was good to see Apollo Crews still showing something in this match. He's a great talent from NXT, so, you know, he's holding his own with people like AJ Styles, The Miz, all of these guys that have been around for a while. He's holding his own against these guys. Even though he's losing, he's still showing something. So it's going to be interesting to see where they put him going forward. Number 2 this week, another NXT alum was in the main event match for this week's SmackDown Live, none other than Mr. Baron Corbin. Great match by Baron. It was great to see him in another match besides him and Dolph, and yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see if they put Baron in a main event style picture, or if he's going to continue his little stuff he's doing backstage with Kalisto. So it's going to be really interesting to see what they do with him going forward. And my number 1 pick for this week, the opening promo with Dolph Ziggler and The Miz. Basically, this was a spillover, and this was the fallout from The Miz's interview last week on Talking Smack with Renee Young, where he basically chewed out Daniel Bryan. It was great. You know, he did a lot of talking. Then Dolph Ziggler came out and said, look, if you're not a punk and a coward like you say you are, face me right here, right now, and we'll see how much of a coward you really are. And The Miz ended up walking away, but that spoke so much. And they're ended up going to have a match at Backlash for the Intercontinental title, The Miz and Dolph Ziggler. So that's going to be a really, really good match. Hopefully, Dolph Ziggler wins and he can actually put another title around his waist. Because the guy deserves it. He works hard. You know, The Miz works hard too, but so does Dolph Ziggler. He's one of the hardest working guys in the business. He deserves something. So, we'll see. Let's look at some honorable mentions this week. Honorable mentions this week. The Big Red Monster, Machine, Kane. He didn't do much. He chokeslammed a guy out of his, well, he would have chokeslammed him out of his boots had the guy already not stripped down to his tighty whities before Kane came out. It was a jobber. The guy said, look, I'm here to fight. Send somebody out to fight. And out comes Kane. And chokeslammed him. The commentary for that bit was absolutely genius. They were saying stuff like, well, his tighty whities ain't going to be white for long. That was the best part. That was the best part of the whole segment for me. But it's going to be interesting. Leave me a comment down below, too. Do you think that they are turning Kane into the Big Red Monster again? Let me know in the comments below what you think. And now we're going to look at some pros and cons for this week. Pros for this week. Mauro Ranallo. He is one of the best commentators in the sports entertainment business, whether it be UFC or MMA, whether it be WWE. He's one of the best right now. Can you imagine if this guy was in the Attitude Era with the likes of Jim Ross, Jerry the King Lawler, if it was just those two? Which it was there for a while, and I mean, it was really good if King wasn't doing his whole heel commentator bit. But can you imagine if somebody like Mauro and Jim Ross were on a commentary team together in the Attitude Era with the likes of Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Rock, Undertaker, and all of that stuff? They would have beat WCW years ago. Not in 2001. They'd have beat him in the mid-90s. I mean, he's one of the best. He keeps me interested every week on Smackdown. And I hope they have big things planned for this guy. Cons for this week. Other than the excellent commentary and some really good segments in this show, it was highly forgettable. Like I said, except for a few spots like Dolph and The Miz. Other than that, though, it was a great show. It was a highly forgettable show other than those great spots. And that's going to do it for me for my top 5 favorite moments from this week's SmackDown Live. Check back next week for my top 5 moments from Monday Night Raw and SmackDown Live as always. And if you haven't seen it yet, finally, my SummerSlam review finally went up on YouTube late last night. You can check it out right here. And you can also check out this week's top 5 favorite moments from Monday Night Raw right here. Here and here. Also, do not forget to comment in the comment section with hashtag Team Raw right here or hashtag Team Smackdown right here on who you think won the war this week. And I'll tell you who y'all thought won the war this week in next week's Top 5 Moments for Monday Night Raw. Until then, my name is Brandon Duchair Craven. I'm fixing to go work on some graphics for Backlash and Clash of Champions coming up here in just a couple of weeks. It's a never-ending cycle, folks. God bless you. I'm out of here. 1, 2, 3. My name's Brandon Duchair Craven. See you next week, y'all. Bye-bye.